by Cutler Funeral Home and Cremation Center. 78-year-old Sharon Hastings of LaPorte passed away on Thursday. Arrangements are entrusted to the Haverstock Funeral Home and Cremation Services in LaPorte. Cremation will take place with burial at the Patton Cemetery at a later date. More contributions for Sharon Hastings can be made to the LaPorte County Small Animal Shelter or a
participation in lots of things, whether it's church or all the kinds of things, is dwindling. Is that something the LaPorte Fair has found as well? And if so, what can be done to attract more youth to participate?
We started that this year. We do this Curious Kids Trail where all the kids can come in. They go to our FFA booth, and then we go around to 22 different locations. You learn about that species or animals or queen, anything. And then they come back to the FFA booth at the end, and then we give out prizes. And then also we started a judging team this year where you come in and you judge animals, any age group, and they can come in. First Source helped with that tremendously, and it brought in like 60 to 70 kids this year. So we're hoping with both of those together we can bring more kids into the 4-H.
Yeah, because there are so many other benefits to just, again, sometimes I think we can kind of be derivative and think it's just showing animals, but the fair is bigger than that, correct?
It is much bigger than that, and we had over 800 unique 4-H and mini 4-H exhibitors this year that exhibited almost 6,100 projects. Now that's including the livestock and the static projects. So there's 4 projects for every kid basically. Out there. And it's not just about the livestock. I mean, the photography, the models, the rockets, the small engines, the electrical projects.
So just because you're not into animals, it doesn't mean that the fair doesn't have something for your child or something like that. I was noticing this year, we only have 2 dogs, 2 turtles, and maybe a raccoon in the back of our yard. But I noticed this year, there's a lot of things for artists. My daughter's an artist, these kind of things. And so, I talked to her about maybe next year doing something like that. There's showcasing places for that as well. So I was just taken back. And I think it's something to remind people that the fair is not just for animals.
No, definitely not. And the artistry that goes on in there, particularly over in the paintings, and that is amazing.
Yep. And so, again, we've got Steve Mrozinski, Brett Kessler here on the show. If you'd like to talk about the fair, please do call us, 219-362-0522. You can also text me as well. Let's get to our first caller. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the show today. We've got Brett Kessler and Steve Mrozinski in here. What's your question for them?
I would like just to comment. The Saturday night, the pre-show, the Garth Brooks show was really good. And it was really neat judging thing they had for the kids. My daughter participated, and she really liked it.
Oh, that's great. That's good to hear.
We're glad to hear that. We're happy to try and bring that free entertainment to people. And I'm glad they enjoyed the judging contest as well.
So tell me again, you tried to get more free entertainment this year, or because you used to have the tent, right? Just a couple of years ago, there was the tent kind of in the middle,
right?
And I did saw in one of the former commercial buildings there was some entertainment. So how did you evolve that?
Well, we thought first to get 2 local bands involved. So we thought they'd open up to these tribute bands that we got. So we got a Garth Brooks tribute band and also a Jimmy Buffett. So we thought that would bring people in, but we wanted also people to hear our local music as well.
And then in commercial too, we have continued to have the daily free entertainment, but through some feedback and stuff, I think we'll probably be exploring bringing the tent back. The acoustics in that building don't work for that quite well. Works really good for the Queen contest and stuff like that, but we're exploring either grandstand or tent, or obviously we're 50 weeks away.
Yep.
But we're already in motion.
Brett, you're only 50 weeks away, buddy. All right, we're going to take our first break of the day. If you have a question for Brett Kessler or Steve Mrozinski about the LaPorte County Fair, we'd love to talk to you about it. The Liquor Vault on-air line is 219-362-0522. You can call or text us or email me at soundoff@967theeagle.com. We're going to take a break. Be right back here, only on 96.7 The Eagle.
Ben Conowitz here, owner of LaPorte Seamless Gutter. My parents started LaPorte Seamless Gutter in 1982 with one goal in mind, really. Our customers' 100% satisfaction. And we are still providing the same customer service that Tim and Seal Conowitz started all those years ago. Give us a call today for a free estimate at 219-362-9972, or you can visit us on the web, www.lpseamless.com. 219-362-9972.
Surf Broadband Solutions is now Surf Internet. They have a new name, but are still serving LaPorte with the same fast fiber internet and local customer care team. Get 1 gig speed and a free whole home Wi-Fi router for the incredibly low price of $65 a month. No contracts and free installation, and a price that's locked for life. Surf Internet is expanding to more neighborhoods every day. So visit surfinternet.com to check your address or call 844-955-SURF for details. Limited time offer and summer restrictions apply.
Swanson Center has been meeting the mental and behavioral health needs of LaPorte County since 1969. Our professional staff provides a full range of services, including counseling, substance use treatment, and psychiatric care. We accept all Medicaid and Medicare coverage and are preferred providers for most types of insurance. For more information, call us at 219-879-4621 or visit our website at www.swansoncenter.org. Swanson Center, meeting the mental health needs of LaPorte County since 1969.
Find the perfect lighting solution with 11% off everything at Menards. Add recessed lighting to any room in your home with dimmable 6-inch ultra-thin wafer downlights from Juno. Their low-profile design fits in virtually any ceiling, and they can be installed in minutes with no recessed housing required. Juno downlights are 11% off at Menards. Good through July 31st. Savings are mail-in rebates. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. 0 down and 0% financing now at Auto Park Ford in LaPorte. Brand new F-150s, Explorers, Edge, Expeditions, Mustangs, Escapes, Broncos, and more. 0 down and as low as 0% financing. Choose from over 100 new Fords in stock. Plus, a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. It's not just a dealership, it's an auto park. Auto Park Ford in LaPorte. AutoParkFordLaPorte.com. 22 Escape, 3540 down, 540 a month, 66 months, 0% APR, plus tax tag title to qualified buyers. All makes, all models, all at low auto park pricing at Auto Park Ford in LaPorte. Save gas and money in a low-mileage 2019 Ford Escape from only $279 a month. $279. Come find the exact vehicle you've been looking for today. We have a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. It's not just a dealership, it's an auto park. Auto Park Ford in LaPorte. AutoParkFordLaPorte.com. 19 Escape 19.9, 500 down, $579 a month, 84 months, 5% APR, plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
If you or a loved one suffers from frequent heartburn, acid reflux, or other symptoms associated with GERD, join Northwest Medical Group for a free seminar on Thursday, July 28th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Healthcare Foundation of LaPorte. Learn about an effective long-term solution for people suffering from GERD. Relief could be within your reach. To reserve your spot, visit LaPorteGastro.com.
Thank you for tuning in to Sound Off. You can now text or email your questions directly to the studio. Call or text 362-0522 or email your questions to soundoff@967theeagle.com. This is Sound Off.
Welcome back, friends. Today on the show, we've got Steve Mrozinski and Brett Kessler, who are officers at the Laporte County Agricultural Association. And we're talking about the fair and what happened and what's coming up in the future. I know there were a lot of compliments this year that I heard personally, and I hope you guys did as well, about how clean the facilities were.
Besides being clean, the county has done so much work out there. They put new asphalt walkways around. They got new fence up. It looks fabulous. We have a nice group of people that come in and do the cleaning for us, and they just done a fabulous job out there.
Yeah, it did seem, I noticed the difference when I was out there as well, especially compared to previous years. It's also nice that at the beginning of the week you didn't have a tsunami to make everything really messy for the rest of the week.
That helped a lot that it waited till Friday to give us some moisture, so that helped a lot.
So, all right, we've got Brett Kessler, Steve Mrozinski, 219-362-0522. Let's get to some callers. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the Sound Off Radio Show. What's your question for our guests?
Yeah, I came to the fair during the day. With all due respect, there wasn't a lot going on. Real sleepy. and you pay to get in there. Took a walk around the place. Everything seemed pretty dead. I guess you just had the entertainment at night. Is that correct?
No, in commercial too, we've got the free entertainment stage going throughout the week, and then we had the Ag Wheel entertainment. We had robot. We had Curious Kids. There's always stuff going on in Pioneer Land. So and the livestock shows, whether it's draft horse ring, horse and pony, small animals, there's stuff going on there the whole week.
And I think a lot of things does not open till 10 o'clock.
Right.
So for everybody to know that a lot of the buildings do not open before that.
Yeah, and like you said, if you go to a lot of the, we went over to one of the horse barns and saw one of my daughter's friends over there, and they were just bringing horses in and out, doing showings, these kind of things. So, all right, let's get to another caller. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the show. We've got Steve Mrozinski and Brett Kessler on the show today. What's your question for them?
Oh, hi, Nate, Steve, and Brett. Say, I heard there was a farmer from Springfield Township at the fair this year. He displayed his crossbreed between an owl and a female goat. It was a real hootenanny.
Thanks, Tommy.
I wasn't sure where that one was going, but
I didn't know either. That
Thanks,
was good.
Thanks, Tommy. All right, let's get to another caller. Hey, we've got Steve Mrozinski and Brett Kessler on the show talking about the LaPorte County Fair. You're on the air. What's your question for them? No, they hung up on me. Maybe it was that joke. Hey, we've got Brett Kessler, Steve Mrozinski on the air today. You're on the air with them. What's your question for them?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for coming on the air.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, my question is, I've been hearing a lot of stories that the Pioneer Village is being asked to pony up more money to either the Fair Board or perhaps maybe it's the county wants more of their money. Any truth to any of those stories? Thank you.
No, the Pioneer Village is actually a subcommittee of the Ag Association. So they're kind of under our umbrella, but there isn't.
You would probably hear about that if they, yeah.
I would think so. I mean, we've worked very well with them together. I mean, Pioneer Land is great. People need to go out and see it. But as far as hearing something like that, we have not.
All right. If you have a question for Steve Mrozinski or Brett Kessler, I want to talk about the LaPorte County Fair, you're welcome to call in 219-362-0522. You can also text me as well. The text line is open. Or if you're streaming with us online through Facebook or YouTube, you're welcome to just put your comments right into the comment section and we'll read them. So another question is, there's been more events happening at the fairgrounds. Do you guys have anything to do with that? Is that a separate entity? How does that all work?
We have our 5 weeks out of the year. We get 2 weeks before fair, the week of fair, and 2 weeks after to clean up. And after that, there's FMEC.
Mm-hmm.
They have totally control of everything out there then.
So if you're seeing other events or, different conventions or different things like that, that's typically not you guys. You guys
Correct.
are focused on that month in the summer, essentially.
Correct.
For the most part, and if we do schedule, whether it's the Indiana Dairy Show, whether it's the Belgian or the Draft Horse Show in September, some of those are still run through the Ag Association. But for the most part, we've got it for the 5 weeks, and then the other 47 weeks of the year, it's run through FMEC.
So you talked a little bit about fair facility upgrades. That what are some of the things in the future, maybe 5-10 years, that you guys are looking at that you would like to maybe focus on? Again, you don't have to commit to anything, but what are some of the areas that your guys' board is talking about that you need to do?
Boy, we would love a coliseum that's indoor, air conditioned, heated, maybe a restaurant at one end. We could do more things in there. Maybe the horse and pony could show in the evenings there, rain or shine, it does not matter. Draft horses, sheep, we could split the ring in half. You could be doing two at once. I think it'd be a great fit out there.
And some of those buildings that were erected in the 60s, their time has come and about ready to go at some point.
Yeah.
So, we started in 19 with the new cattle barn, in addition to the swine barn that we put up, 20 years ago already. And so, there's plans to continue to upgrade those facilities for the livestock. And then, like Steve said, if we could get a Coliseum type structure up, that would be that would be the icing on the cake.
Uh-huh.
Would you try to build that big enough so some concerts could maybe even be held in there as well, or smaller concerts?
Concerts, car shows, whatever.
Yep.
You could have it in there.
And the thing
year
about
round.
The thing about the concerts is, we've got a great building downtown LaPorte, and you don't want to take away from that.
Yeah.
But as far as having maybe larger national type livestock shows and stuff like that, it'd be a huge draw for that.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we've got Brett Kessler and Steve Mrozinski on the show today. They're here with the LaPorte County Agricultural Association, which is the association that handles our LaPorte County Fair, which just completed, they said, record attendance. So really good to hear that. Lots of good feedback as well. If you have a question, you're welcome to call or text me at the Liquor Vault on-air line at 219-362-0522, or you can email me at soundoff@967theeagle.com. Let's get to another caller. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the Sound Off Radio Show. I appreciate you. What's your question for our guest today?
I just want to congratulate you on a great county fair this year. Everything was just really nice. I also want to say that I'm hoping that you'll bring back the free entertainment tent to the area it was in before. That area seemed to have not much going on in it, and I think that was a real draw for people to see the entertainment that they didn't even know was going on. You'd walk past it and it would draw you in to listen to them, whereas in the barn it just seems like people would just walk by it, and it's not as welcoming as just an open air tent that you stop and see things that you didn't plan on seeing, and it was really nice.
I want to thank you for that, and yes, we are looking into that. That's been a great question ever since fair got over, and we're going to address it at our next meeting and see what we can come up with. But thank you very much.
Some of this stuff you don't know until you try something, right? If it works or not, or especially you've only got so much facility, right? And so you're playing a puzzle to get everything to fit in there. And so good to hear, though. Good feedback. If you have a question or a comment about the LaPorte County Fair, the Liquor Vault on-air line is 219-362-0522. We've got Steve Mrozinski and Brett Kessler, the president and vice president of the LaPorte County Agricultural Association. Here's a question from you from our text line. Is there anything to do to separate the cow barn and the horse and pony barn, as some horses are scared to death of cows, and with them now washing in the back of the cow barn, a lot of kids were having a hard time with their horses?
That's something we can look into. We can maybe put a solid fence around there. We can talk to the county and see if that's something that we could do. But yeah, if we don't know what's going on, now that we know that, we can try figuring something out.
And that question has not been brought up to us yet, and we will have a superintendent's meeting here in August with all of our barn superintendents. So if you have not contacted your barn superintendent about that, please do so. We'll make a note of it, but that way it can kind of come up at our meeting, and we've got time to take action on it.
As I like to say on the show often, even dealing with politicians, these kind of things, don't assume that people have heard the complaint that you saw on Facebook or anything like that. So make sure that you bring up your concerns with the right people, right?
Exactly.
All right, we've got Brett Kessler and Steve Mrozinski here on the show. We're talking about the LaPorte County Fair. We're going to take our final break. We got about 15 minutes left of the show. If you've got a question, 219-362-0522. We'd love to hear from you. You can call us or text us. Whatever you do, though, don't leave where you're at. Keep listening to 96.7 The Eagle.
For over 50 years, LaPorte has trusted Cannon's Automotive Service for prompt, efficient, same-day service. And that same Cannon's commitment extends to area businesses who rely on a fleet of one or many to take your goods or service to the customer. Whether it's the truck or trailer that needs maintained or fixed, trust Cannon's Automotive to maximize your productivity with same-day service. Now with 2 Cannon's locations, 710 Tyler Street and 909 Boyd Boulevard.
With Cannon's Automotive, we fix everything.
Hi, my name is John Hassey, and I am owner of Hassey Construction and president of Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Every year, some unethical construction companies illegally pay workers cash under the table. That puts businesses Nowika represents that provide a good living wage, pay payroll taxes, and employee benefits at a major competitive disadvantage. These companies rob our state of over $405 million every single year. Imagine what could be done for Hoosiers with that money. Please visit indianacip.com/tax fraud to learn how you can take a stand.
Garwood U-Pick is currently on hiatus for a couple of weeks while crops ripen. Early August through late October, U-Pick will offer peppers, tomatoes, raspberries, cut flowers, sunflowers, pumpkins, and 25 varieties of apples. Garwood's Farm Market remains open with great deals on all kinds of great produce, including Michigan sweet cherries for just $4.99 per pound. Fresh Lodi apples, $1.75 per pound, or $25 per half bushel. Garwood pickles, $1.49 per pound, or half bushels, 10 for $22 depending on size. Tasty Tennessee tomatoes are just $1.99 per pound. Homegrown blackberries, $5.50 a pint, or 4-pint box for $20. Homegrown green beans, $1.99 per pound, $22 half bushel, or $40 per bushel. Homegrown blueberries, 5-pound box, just $19.95. And of course, Garwood's famous sweet corn, 6 for $3.49. Garwood Farm Market and Bakery, open daily from 9 until 6. Check GarwoodOrchard.com, the Garwood Facebook page, or call Garwood to find out what's available. Garwood's on 50 South past Pinola.
Here's another job opportunity from HometownNewsNow.com.
Central States Manufacturing, a leader in metal roofing and metal siding, is hiring and looking for team members to join their employee-owned company. Medical, vision, dental, profit sharing, and employee stock ownership plan are just a few of the perks. Apply online at centralstatesmfg.com/careers or stop and apply in person at 2151 Tryon Road in Michigan City.
This has been a Jobs Spotlight Extra. Look under Hot Topics at HometownNewsNow.com for job details.
Hey, Dennis Adele here to remind you of this year's Airfair 2022 at the LaPorte Municipal Airport, and I want you to stop out and see me from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, August 6th, as I'll be broadcasting live here on your home for country music variety, 96.7 The Eagle.
Michiana weather.
76 this afternoon, under cloudy skies, northerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, 57. Slight chance for scattered rain showers tomorrow, 77. From the Weather Center at HometownNewsNow.com. Right now, 73.
Your opinion matters. We invite you to share it by calling or texting the Liquor Ball on-air line at 362-0522. That's 362-0522. Now, back to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
Welcome back, friends. For our final segment of Sound Off Radio Show today, we've got Steve Mrozinski and Brett Kessler here from the LaPorte County Agricultural Association talking about the LaPorte County Fair. Here's a question for you, probably the best question I've seen. Is it possible to raise funds and open up Nate Loucks land in the fairgrounds?
I don't know. You got to have a collection going through the 4th parade and toss it in there.
Exactly.
I mean, we could always do it.
I do have a wealthy benefactor that produces this show that will probably do it for you. So I do want
didn't even get nothing out of him there.
No. Well, he doesn't have a microphone today, so we're good.
Oh yeah, we're good then.
So, what about the auctions? How are the auctions? Because I know that's another important part of the fair.
Yep. So that closing Friday, we sold 373 lots this year, or the 4-Hers did. We didn't. With the help of Jim Lasinski and his crew of auctioneers and all the volunteers that do the running and everything like that. And we grossed $379,812 this year. So did really, really well. We sold 44 goats. For $32,000, that's a pretty good number on goats,
and that money goes back to the kids, right?
It does. It goes back to them to either continue their breeding herd or work on purchasing livestock for next year.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right, we've got another question here through our phone lines. Let's get to another call. Hey, thanks so much for calling. Thanks for listening to the show. What's your question for Steve and Brett Kessler?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good.
I got a question. Do you guys ever coordinate with the animal shelter, since they're right next door there, that maybe they could have part of one of the barns to maybe bring over a few dogs maybe once a day to get adopted? It seems like it's so reliant on the public going in there to find these animals. I just adopted one about 3 weeks ago. And my God, there were so many wonderful dogs and cats there. But unless somebody really goes to the shelter, they're never going to know what's there. And I just thought it'd be a great idea to maybe have them bring maybe 4 a day, just to have an opportunity where the public would actually get to see these animals.
It's something we can take a look at. We try to ask people not to bring their dogs to the fair just because you've got draft horses and cattle. And if the dogs haven't been around the livestock before, you don't know how they're going to act, and sometimes we know how the larger livestock are going to act around them. So, but it's something we can take a look at. I mean, up there by the front entrance or something, but we try not to promote bringing the dogs and cats to the fair, but it's something that we could definitely look at to work with the animal shelter.
All right, let's get to another question. Hey, thanks so much for calling. What's your question for Steve Mrozinski and Brett Kessler about the LaPorte County Fair?
Hi, Nate. This is Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Yes, my question is, whatever happened to all the vendors? I just stuck my head in commercial building 2, and there was just a circle of chairs in there. We used to have people advertising their home repair and their there's insurance, all the small lawnmower shops, be it treaters or the only people that had anything was Seymour had a short row of his product outside, and they're all gone. And in my day, every local machinery dealer, every local Deal Valve and Surge milking machines, all the dairy products, machinery, and everything, silo unfillers, just everything, forage harvesters. I know the dealers are gone. We have one come in, from Valparaiso or Valpo, and that's it. Where's everybody at?
We had 2 ones there. We had a John Deere one, plus we also had an international one. We did have the lawnmowers there. But if you were in commercial building 1, it was full of all of our vendors. We kept commercial building 2 for our entertainment. That's why you did not see it. People could go in there and eat after they got their food. But we're trying to get more vendors in. A lot of the big thing is we do not have air conditioning. A lot of the vendors don't want to come, but we're trying to get more there.
And we did, and like with Seymour being set up outside, that's where he's requested to be set up. He's sold more machines here the last few years being set up outside than he ever did inside. So, and as far as not having milk dealers or anything like that, when you're down to a handful of dairies, there's not a reason for those people to come spend a week out there. So it's kind of the name of the game anymore.
It'll be a prerequisite in Nate Loucks land to have air conditioning. So, there's another question that we received. Why no commercial buildings with vendors? Again, I think this also has to do with a little bit of the changing landscape of businesses, right? There's not as many businesses. There's not as many people that do it. There might be, 1 or 2 gutter companies instead of, 10 that
Correct.
used to be. And so the competition's a little different. So.
Yep, and I mean, we had Raymond and Spence out there in commercial 1, and yes, it's still commercial 1, commercial 2. The name of the buildings; those were given to them 60 years ago. So
yeah, good luck changing that.
Good luck changing that. But we've got vendors throughout the grounds. Over near the Midway, there were several vendor tents set up. So they're not necessarily all just there in commercial 1, commercial 2 anymore. They're spread out throughout the grounds.
That's correct.
So what is something that maybe people don't know that you want to make sure that people know about what happened at the fair, what's happening in the future, anything that you guys want to celebrate that hasn't been celebrated enough?
I want to talk about the wood carvings.
Sure.
We do. There's a gentleman that has wood carvings that he makes there every year. We did like 12 of them.
Yeah, I saw those. Those are really cool.
Took them to the auction. We sell them, and we take that money and put it towards either our scholarship fund or building fund or something like that. But, with doing this, maybe as a fair board, we could put out more scholarships. We got to see what we come up with, but to get more kids involved.
Yeah, I know that's again one of the goals is. I know the fair is always a week of entertainment for a lot of people, but it really is. It's a year-long education program and community aspect for kids and adults all year round. So if people want to find out more about how to get involved with the fair or anything like that, or maybe even 4-H or something like that, where do they start with that? Where can somebody look and find, well, I didn't know that they had this thing. You said small engines, all the list of that kind of stuff. Where can they find that?
Yep. So if you go to lpfair.com, we've got links there that'll either link you with the extension office or to the open class projects we have. I mean, we had 154 exhibitors between the 5 different subcategories, whether it was gardening, cooking, and we'd love to see more of that from the community. It's always fun to be a judge for those food, those food projects, but
we're moving that into Nate Loucks land as well, right? Any cake or cookie, or you know what? We're going to add donuts for the next one because who doesn't love a good donut? So finally, more of a comment than a question. It would be wonderful to see more happening at the fairgrounds during the off-season, a more traditional spring, fall, or summer festival similar to the Sunflower Fair or Blueberry Fest. Now, again, explain a little bit the different entities that are at the fair because you guys only control it for that month. but there is an event group that does that kind of stuff, correct?
Yes, there's a fair management entertainment group that does take care of that. Like I said, we only have it to 5 weeks, and other than that, they should get a hold of them because they're more than welcome to do new things out there, and I'm sure they would.
And if you all remember back in 2018, there was a proposed summer fest that was supposed to happen around Memorial Day, and that never got off the ground. But it's been talked about, but it takes a lot of work. And, we wouldn't be where we're at without our volunteers. I mean, there's over 700 volunteers that help put on the fair. So, we can't thank them enough. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into putting on something for the entire community like that.
I think our office staff, they do pretty much everything for us. Without those ladies, we'd be lost. So, I mean,
knowing you too well, I knew there had to be somebody that's
right. That's right.
Keep us in
the
line,
brains
right?
behind the operation.
They keep us in line.
So I'll give you the final word, guys. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. What do you want our listeners to know?
Well, the 177th LaPorte County Fair will be July 8th through the 15th. It's never too early to start thinking about it. Wintertime's a great time to work on projects that, whether it's photography, making a quilt, stuff like that. It's a great time to do it and bring it out in July for people to see. I know the quilter ladies would like to see some more competition in some of those divisions. But we thank the kids for taking the time to be in the project and the devotion they show to bring everything out there to the fair for the community.
Also, entertainment. If people want to have some entertainment out there, give us some ideas.
Yep.
We're always open for ideas for new entertainment. We had great entertainers this year, so hopefully we can do the same in the years to come.
What's that website again?
lpfair.com.
Well, thanks so much for being on the show today, guys. Thanks for giving us a rundown of how the fair went. So glad that attendance was good and so much money was raised for the kids and things like this. A reminder before we end here, there was an accident on Thompson and 30 in Hannah. A helicopter was called. So if you plan on traveling on 30 anytime soon, be careful and maybe prepare another route so that our first responders can get that all cleaned up and help those who potentially got hurt. Hey, I want to thank you so much for listening to the show. On Friday, we've got LaPorte City Council President Pro Tem Timothy Frankie on the show. We've got lots of good shows coming up for you as well. But in the meantime, listen to all of the great stuff that Dennis Siddell produces on the Morning Mayhem, because if he calls you and you don't answer, you're going to get it. All right? I take it from me. Take it from me. If he calls you on the morning show and you don't answer, you'll hear about it. So be good to yourself, be good to others. Keep listening to 96.7 The Eagle.
Thank you for joining us and voicing your opinion on this edition of Sound Off. The views on Sound Off are those of the host or callers and do not